If you browse the web today, chances are you're using a Chromium-based browser like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Brave, or even Vivaldi. These browsers are incredibly popular, and for good reason. They're fast, feature-rich, and generally reliable. But here's the thing, their default privacy and security settings? They're just not going to cut it if you're serious about protecting yourself online. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the standard privacy and security settings that you absolutely need to change to maximize your online safety. This isn't about protecting you from yourself if you click a known phishing site, but it's about building a robust defense against exploits, data leakage, and other online threats where the fault isn't necessarily yours. We're talking about upgrading your browser from a standard car to an armored vehicle, ready for the digital highway. All the settings we're about to discuss can be found in your browser's settings, usually under Privacy and Security, and then specifically the Security section. Even if you're not using Google Chrome, but another Chromium browser, most of these options will be there, perhaps with a slightly different name, but the core functionality remains the same. So, let's jump right in and fortify your browser. The first, and arguably one of the biggest, settings you should immediately change is your safe browse mode. By default, it's probably set to the standard protection. While standard mode does offer some defense by downloading a list of known malicious sites every few hours or once a day, it leaves a significant window of vulnerability. Imagine a new phishing site popping up right after your browser's last update. You'd be unprotected until the next blacklist download. This is a critical gap, especially since many scam and phishing websites are incredibly temporary, spun up for only a few hours before a new one takes its place once detected. That's why I highly recommend setting your safe browse mode to enhance protection. Yes, there's a privacy aspect here. It does send every URL you visit to Google for analysis. But this real-time analysis is precisely what makes it so effective. It means you're always getting the most up-to-date protection against newly discovered threats, drastically reducing that vulnerable window. For me, the trade-off in sending URLs to Google for real-time threat analysis is entirely worth the significantly increased security it provides. It's like having a dedicated security guard constantly monitoring your route, rather than just checking a static list of known dangerous areas every few hours. Next up, we have a setting that's more about pure privacy, encrypted DNS. DNS, or Domain Name System, is essentially the Internet's phonebook. When you type a website address into your browser, your computer uses DNS to look up the corresponding IP address. Unlike the content of a website, which is usually encrypted, HTTPS, the DNS request itself is often unencrypted by default. This means your Internet Service Provider, or ISP, can potentially see every website lookup you make, even if they can't see the content of the site itself. It's like they know every number you dial, even if they can't hear your conversation. Enabling encrypted DNS changes this. It encrypts those DNS requests, preventing your ISP from easily spying on your browse habits. You probably won't notice any performance difference, and there's really no downside to enabling it. You can choose from several reputable providers like Cloudflare, NextDNS, or Google's own public DNS. If you're a tech expert who already has encrypted DNS set up at the operating system level, your browser can simply use that. For everyone else, picking one of the listed providers is a simple yet powerful privacy upgrade. Moving on, I strongly recommend you enable Always Use Secure Connections. Chrome already does a good job of warning you if a website tries to use encryption but has a problematic certificate. You'll see a big, undeniable warning. However, by default, if a website isn't using any encryption, it typically just shows a small "not secure" indicator in the top left of the address bar. You can still visit the site, of course, but it's easy to overlook. With Always Use Secure Connections enabled, your browser will automatically try to upgrade any connection from an insecure HTTP connection to a secure HTTPS connection if the option is available. More importantly, it will give you a much more prominent, full-page warning if you try to visit a website that doesn't support HTTPS encryption at all. This makes it far more obvious when you're about to send data over an unencrypted connection, giving you a clear choice to proceed or back off. In an age where most reputable websites use HTTPS, this setting is a vital reminder to avoid those that don't, protecting your sensitive information from eavesdropping. Now, this next setting might sound a bit more advanced, but trust me, it's incredibly important for your security. It's found under Manage V8 Security, and I would very, very strongly consider setting the option to Don't Allow Sites to use the V8 Optimizer. V8 is the JavaScript engine that powers Chrome and many other Chromium browsers, and it's responsible for executing the code that makes websites interactive and dynamic. The V8 Optimizer refers to something called Just-in-Time Compilation, or JIT. Basically, JIT compilation allows scripts and web applications to run much faster by converting code into machine-readable instructions on the fly. While this sounds great for performance, and it is, there's a significant security trade-off. According to security researchers like Steve Gibson, over half of all discovered zero-day vulnerabilities, those critical flaws that attackers exploit before developers even know they exist, leverage just-in-time compilation and this V8 optimizer. Disabling it potentially protects you from over half of these highly dangerous, unpatched vulnerabilities. It's a major way to increase the security of your browser, especially against sophisticated exploits where you don't even have to do anything wrong. The attackers simply outsmart the browser itself. Technically, there will be a performance hit by disabling the V8 optimizer, as JavaScript code will run slower. However, in my experience, and with modern hardware, I've had this enabled for a while and honestly haven't noticed any significant slowdowns in my daily browse. Most websites are still perfectly responsive. If, by some chance, you encounter a web application or a specific part of a site that feels unusually slow, you have the option to allow the V8 optimizer on specific, trusted sites. So, the best approach is to keep it disabled by default, then selectively enable it only if absolutely necessary for a particular site you trust. This gives you maximum protection without compromising your general browse experience. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends and family who also use Chrome or other Chromium browsers, and of course, ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on more valuable tech tips and security advice. On the end screen, you'll see my next 2 videos where I dive into advanced Chrome flags, hidden experimental settings that can further supercharge your browser's privacy and security. And video on the left shows you exactly how to uninstall all the hidden junk slowing your phone down. It's like giving your device a fresh start, don't miss it. I will see you there.